Oh, that's cool, man. Sure, like I got them guns on. That's Jordan. Man, get them things together over there, boy. Hey! Man, that beat is ridiculous. Where did that come from? Oh, man. You still playing with that thing, bro. You still playing with that thing.
I'll always have a positive word because I'm here to
Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is your host, Joaquin Thompson, and this is the Daily Bread Radio Show coming to you live from Snellville, the metropolis of Snellville, right outside of Atlanta. So if y'all don't know what's happening in Snellville, y'all need to come out here and check out the Daily Bread Radio Show because we got it really, 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 really live. We get a lot of feedback, man. Really, really live, and having a lot of fun. It's Thursday evening. We're gonna be on from 8 to 9 p.m. For those of you all that are joining for the first time, this is a show about personal finance on a spiritual level. Notice I said spiritual and not religious. We don't do church. We don't do your religion because we know everybody has different beliefs, so we don't want to get into that. But what we like to do is just share information about personal finance on a weekly basis because regardless of your... Man, what?
Go ahead, keep going.
What you want me to do with this?
Just talk.
What?
Just talk, man.
Man, every week I come in here, it's something different, bro. Every week, man.
That sound good on it.
No, man, that don't sound good, man.
That sound good.
Well, why we got this? Take this off then.
Don't worry about that. Keep going.
Oh, man. Let me just pray, man. Can y'all pray for me, man? Every week I come in here, man, it's something. It's like goddamn kung fu, man.
Every week I got
Every week, bro. Can't we just? That's why the Steelers be losing, man. That's why the Pittsburgh Steelers be losing, man. Every week, y'all got it. Why don't y'all just have one playbook and run the play, man? That's why I see back in the day, man, the Steelers, when they had Chuck Noll, they ain't have to go through all. But now, every week, man, y'all want to do something different.
So you putting the black man down.
I ain't putting no black man. What black man? Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
The one y'all let keep the spit in the bed?
So y'all
the one when Leonard Fournette was running up and down. He was running up and down Highfield, man. That man had so much spit in his beard. he probably won't even have that beard on this year, man. Because he gonna be like, nah, bro. Leonard Fournette was like, he said, ain't nobody even come up with you talking about that, bro?
Yeah, y'all trying to put the man down, man.
Man, good grief. It sounds better, man, but I had all day to do this, man. You know what I'm saying, man?
Sound good on it.
You know, I don't know what it sounds like,
Sound
but
good
it just, I don't
on it.
know.
Ask them.
What it sound like? Ask them. What they gonna say? They ain't gonna say nothing with yeah,
amen.
No. Amen.
Hallelujah.
But yeah, the show is really about personal finance, and what I like to do is take an hour out of everyone's busy week, each and every week, to just talk personal finance, because everything that we do, every single thing that we do, from when we get up in the morning, brush our teeth, to when we go to bed at night, everything, if you sit down and think about it, it's tied to personal finance. So my job, my role, my duty is just to give insight into different things. My goal is for you to be able to take this information, go out into the world and put it into action. Because I'm not an entertainer from that standpoint. I mean, we laugh and joke and have a good time on the show, but at the end of the day, the way that I measure my success on this show is people being able to have some information that they can take away and say, you know what, man, listen to your show, got my credit straight. you know what, I was listening to the show, got my budget in place, started a business, invested in myself, got me some life insurance, you know, looked out for my family. Whatever it is that we talk about on the show, you know, stop bouncing so many checks. You know, don't have so many overdrafts. Have a lot more cash on me. You know, you know, like I was talking to one of my partners the other day, you know, started to look at my tax game. Because, and that's not the topic of the day, you know, today's show is not about the tax game, but the tax game is always in play. Most people play the tax game at the end of the year, but it's too late. If you play your tax game at the end of the year, it's too late. You're supposed to play your tax game all year. Don't be like the Steelers. Don't wait till the fourth quarter when Leonard Fournette is already and you looking like this. Play your tax game all year, because the reason it's important to play your tax game all year is because as you're making money throughout the year and as you're getting, you know, advice, you should be getting advice throughout the year. Don't wait till the end of the year to do your tax game. Do your tax game all year, because, you know, some of our counterparts, that's what they do. They play their tax game a year in advance. So now when you want to get really deep, like what we talk about on the Daily Bear Radio Show and say we're going to another frequency, if you really want to get really deep, start planning your tax. You should be already on your 2019 tax game, because your 2018 tax game is pretty much done at this point, right? Still got some cards that you can play. You can always play cards, because with the tax game, you can play cards all the way up to December 31st if you know what you're doing. Now, you can't be playing no tunk. You can't be, man, I got a cold. Hey, man. Man, I need some water, man. I'm going down. I'm going down.
Man overboard. Man overboard. Man overboard.
Hey, man, what the producer supposed to be doing? Getting the water?
Man
overboard. No food in here, man.
Man overboard.
But,
Help.
Hey, man, I ain't say you got to open it. Don't be opening and drinking it.
It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good.
But, you know, on your tax game, man, you can't be playing tough. You got to be playing poker, man. You got to be playing high stakes poker with your tax game. So, and you really can be only in one or two positions. You either going to be active or passive. Active, that means that you're going to take the reins and, like, I'm responsible for this. This is what I'm doing. This is what we're doing. Passive is you take your hands off the wheel and you let the IRS, your job, or your income, whatever you get your income from, it can even be self-employment, entrepreneurship, whomever, you let them and the government and the IRS, you let them take the reins. So you could either have the reins, you know, like when you was a shorty watching the West, you could have the reins, ride them up. You can either be doing it like that, you can either be riding that horse, or you could be like, you know what? Or you could be like Festus on Gunsmoke and just Marshall here and give Marshall Dillon the reins and let somebody else ride out for you. So, like I said, today wasn't about taxes, but we just kind of stumbled in there. But again, it's about personal finance. It's all about personal finance. So, just something to think about. A couple of topics for today's show as we get started.
Go ahead. This one's working.
Man, one of these days, bro. Man, you can't be playing. But you can't be playing with microphones doing the show.
I gotta get you right, man.
Nah, bro, you gotta do that off the air. You can't be doing that while we doing the show. Man, anyway, bro. Okay, man, I can't even focus, man. Let me pray for a minute real quick. Let me pray. All right, I'm back. Look, I said a moment, man. What's wrong with you, man? You know what I'm saying? It's just a moment, man. It's just a moment. Because I ain't got time, man, for you to be, you know, I need you to be on point, man. Act like you playing for the Jaguars, man. Stop acting like you playing for the Steelers, man.
Jaguars.
Act like you playing for the Jaguars, bro. Act like you...
This Jaguar right there,
See,
stump.
there you go.
They stump.
No, this Jaguar right here, you know, got one microphone. You go all this all Pittsburgh Steelers rigged up stuff.
You want to show the watch?
Man, don't show that watch on here, because we're going to crush y'all as soon as they come out of the Duke ball.
Ain't gonna happen.
Don't crush them, Joe.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
let no crying.
Yeah, right. That's
Need to
what
baby
they said
something.
last year.
Need to baby
Man,
something.
you taking up too much time, man. Go on with that, man. Go on with that. But one of the topics I did want to talk about today that's really, really relevant, and it ties into personal finances, and I'm going to start off with everybody has the right to their own opinion, right? So in life, you know, people tend to give opinions on different things. You know, when you ask or don't ask, people just have an opinion. So one of the things that kind of struck me today as I was trying to think about what to talk about on the Daily Bread Radio show was this situation that's going on with Terrell Owens. Now, Terrell Owens, you know, most of us know him, NFL star, or some people say superstar, what have you, one of the best receivers, the leading receivers in the game. And it took him a while to get inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? So a couple of years, you know, people felt like they passed over him because of his behavior, whatever the reason was. I mean, it's the establishment, whatever the reason was. He was passed over. So this year he gets the nod. This year he gets, like, okay, you're going into the Hall. Now today, the news comes out today that he responded to them that he's not going to participate in the induction ceremony, right? For the NFL Hall of Fame. Now, when I first heard it, I was like, okay, I get it. You know, you upset. You know, you in your feelings, or you sensitive, or whatever it is, right? But think about this. This is what I want us to think about. And the number to the show is 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call. Let us know what your thoughts are. Give us a call. Let us know that the phone lines are working. But just think about this for a minute. And we've talked about this on the Daily Bread Radio show, and this is just my personal opinion. You go through your career, and it's a job. I mean, NFL, at the end of the day, NFL is a job. Unless you're the owner, unless you're Jerry Jones, unless you're an NFL owner, right? It's a job, right? You just happen to be in a high-paying job. So you're working for somebody. And when you work for somebody, they have certain rules and regulations because it's their job. You're not the owner. So if you're the owner, then you could do stuff like, yeah, I don't want nobody wearing shoes in the locker room. If you're the owner, and then what everybody do, when they get to the door, they got to take their shoes off, just like they do when they come to your house. When they come to your house, if you're the owner of the house, you say, hey, take your shoes off when you come in. Bro, that's our rules.
Hey.
Take your shoes off. Like, man, I just got this carpet done, man. No, we ain't get it done. We just got a shampoo. We didn't got a shampoo. We got company coming. Take your shoes off. It's the same. I mean, so T.O. is like, he's not going to participate in the enshrinement into the NFL Hall of Fame. Now, the enshrinement is really, that's one of the biggest parts of going into the Hall. You get to, this is when you get to tell your story about what took place in your life to get you to the point where you became a Hall of Famer, right? But here's the biggest point that I have about that. The biggest problem that I have with T.O. not participating in that. And I'm hoping that he, at some point during this process, come back and say, you know what, hey, man, I was just tripping. You know, I was in my feelings. I was feeling a little sensitive at the time. But I'm going to come tell my story. Now, T.O. has a deep story about how he was raised by his grandmother and, you know, what went on with his mother and how he found out about his biological, all these different things that he overcame. So I'm saying that to say, I hope he comes to the realization that his enshrinement into the Hall of Fame is not for him.
Exactly.
His enshrinement is his opportunity to get up in front of all of those people and get behind that podium and stand next to that bust and say to all of the people that helped him get to that point in time how much he appreciates what they did for him. Because it was a whole bunch of people that played a whole bunch of parts that want to be in that audience wearing that 81, that this is not for him. It's for his grandmother. It's for his mother. It's for his aunts. It's for his cousins. It's for his nieces, nephews. It's for all of these people that want to see him go into the Hall and want to be a part of that. How many people can say, my uncle went into the Hall of Fame? How many people can say my brother is in the Hall of Fame, not played in the league? How many people can say, hey man, my childhood friend, the dude I grew up, man, on 45th of March, he in the Hall of Fame, that's my boy. How many people can say that? So you're gonna be selfish enough because you're in your feelings, and you're gonna take that away from somebody that has never had the opportunity, let alone to play on, let alone to touch an NFL field. You're gonna take that from them because you upset because the employer that you was working for felt some type of way about the way that you behave, and they wanted to show you, and God is showing you, regardless of what they want to do to you, it was no way they could keep you out. It's nothing that they could do. So that was one of the things that was on my mind coming in today, because like I tell you, I mean, I'm always thinking about stuff in the Daily Bread Radio Show, what we're going to talk about. But just think about that. How many people is he going to deprive? Think about the person that he gets to choose to do the unveiling of the bust. It could be one of his kids. Think about that, man. Your old man, like, now all of a sudden I'm just like, man, you know what, T.O., man, you had enough time to do them antics, man. You did them. It's a consequence for things when you do them, right? It's a consequence. And that brings me into the second part, or the second topic that I want to talk about tonight is when we use certain words, sometimes we use them so frequently that we don't really get a good understanding, what I call a working understanding of those words. And this is a perfect segue thinking about the T.O. situation, going into 3 words that I heard Steve Harvey do a commencement. If you get the opportunity, go out to YouTube and look up Steve Harvey's commencement address. I think it's like 2015, 2016. I think it's 2016. The 2016 commencement address for Alabama State University. And Steve Harvey gave the commencement. He was the keynote speaker at the commencement. And from his speech, it was one segment that I picked up that was phenomenal what he was talking about. And the way he broke it down, and it's so applicable to this T.O. situation. This is what he said. He said, do you know what the definition of justice is? Do you know what the definition of justice? Justice is you getting exactly what you are supposed to be getting. You did it, you do the crime, you do the time. You slap this person, they slap you back. That's justice. You get exactly what you're supposed to get. That's justice, right? Mercy. Listen to this now. We talked about justice. Excuse me. Now we're going to talk about mercy, because we hear a lot of people talk about mercy. Mercy is when you don't receive what you're supposed to. That's mercy.
Come on.
That's mercy. When you have mercy, mercy is you should have received it, but you didn't. Right? You didn't get what you was supposed to receive. That's mercy, right? That means that you was out somewhere, stealing. You didn't get caught. You could have went to jail, but you didn't get caught. That was mercy, right? So you got justice, got what you supposed to. You got mercy, you didn't get what you were supposed to get. Now let's talk about the big one, grace. 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 And this is it was so deep when he started talking about it. Grace. What is grace? Grace is when you receive, listen to this now, and think about T.O. Grace, now we talked about justice and we've talked about mercy. Let's talk about grace. Grace is when you receive something that you don't deserve. That's grace. That's grace. You getting up this morning, getting on your way, even though you went to bed last night, got there complaining about you this don't fit, you overweight, you ain't got no money, husband this, wife that, children this, da-da. You woke up this morning, got up, went and used the bathroom first thing, brushed your teeth. That was grace. That was grace. When you went in and applied for that goddamn house, knowing you ain't had a credit score for it,
Got no money.
knowing you ain't have no money in the bank, knowing you didn't have it in your budget, knowing you weren't even supposed to be in the house, but you got approved anyway. And it shocked you.
What?
You were shocked.
What?
Because you.
Well,
That's grace. You know when you receive something, you know you weren't supposed to get it, right?
stop playing.
You know you weren't supposed to get it, and you try to contain yourself when they say, "Oh yeah, you've been approved for $50,000, a line of credit." You like, oh, you want to say, "You got the right file." That's grace. That is grace, man. Grace. When you get stuff that you don't even deserve it, but God is willing to give it to you anyway. That's grace. Not justice, not mercy. Grace. Grace. True story. As many of y'all know, I'm a registered nurse, work for a large health plan. So I see stuff that goes on in the health field all the time. This is a true story. Somebody sent something to me today that they wanted me to research. Like, hey, we got this high dollar claim. High dollar claim means somebody's been in the hospital that's, incurred a large volume or a large amount of bills, right? Related to their health care. So when that happens, triggers go off, like the employee group wants to know, like, hey, what's going on? We got this $1 million baby. Or, hey, what's going on? We got this trauma. I go in and research the case. I'm going to give you all a short version to teach you a story about grace. This is a true story now. I just read this today in somebody's medical chart, right? Lady was home by herself. She was drinking alcohol. This is in her medical chart. Drinking alcohol at her house.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't in the street.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't running around. She was at her house.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking alcohol, got drunk.
Mm.
Right? Fell.
Mm-hmm.
Home by herself. She fell.
Mm-hmm.
Husband finds her 12 hours later.
Ooh.
After she fell.
Mm-hmm.
Get her to the hospital. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this lady was fine before she started drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this now. Listen to this. This is when you say, you know what? Thank you, God, for grace.
Mm-hmm.
Started drinking. Fell. Husband comes home, finds her. She's laying on the floor. Takes her to the hospital. What's her diagnosis? C5, C6, fracture. That means she fractured her cervical spine, quadriplegia. What's a quadriplegic? That means from the neck down, you can't do nothing. From your neck to your toes, you can't do nothing. 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 The last thing you remember, you was just having a drink. And if that wouldn't be enough, then because she's a quadriplegic, she can't turn. So when you're in the hospital for an extended period of time, you're susceptible to bed sores. Now this lady has an extensive number of bed sores where she's having to go in and out of surgery. They're trying to do what we call debridement. That's just where they go in surgically and just scrape wounds to try to get them clean so they can put you on antibiotic. They do skin grafts. The lady was home having a drink, fell, broke her neck, quadriplegic. That's it. That's the rest of her life. 57. Grace. So all of this, what we don't have, oh, I wish. That's foolishness, man. Don't worry about that, man. Keep your eyes focused on the Creator. Stay focused on who you are. Be true to yourself, right? Be true to yourself. Don't worry about that. That's justice, that's mercy, and that's grace. So when you think about that TL situation, what you complaining about, bruh? You in 1% of the population that get to play a sport and get paid for it. They tripping. It ain't yours. That's just like you working at goddamn churches. If you working at churches and you frying chicken, you come to work with some flip-flops on. They like, bro, you can't work around no chicken grease with no flip-flops.
Oh, boy, your feet.
No, you gonna break.
Oh, boy, your feet, boy.
Boy, you know that grease pop on that grease pop on your toes. And you be wondering, like, now you go sue churches because you come to work with some flip flops on. It's the same thing, man. It's just. And then you may be asking yourself, what does that got to do with personal finance? Good question, right? Good question. Think about T.O. Let's go back to the T.O. situation. Personal finance. If he would embrace what happened to him during his career and leading up to the Hall of Fame, guess what? There's still the potential for additional revenue to be made. Mm-hmm. He's not young. He fit. He in shape. Oh, he in shape. But guess what? His brand, and for the people that said, oh, that was in the past. He over that. Now you come back up with this foolishness. They said, man, go on with that. They could have used him in a Super Bowl commercial. They could be used. Grace could be right at his doorstep. Like, man, I'm a return to you tenfold what they took from you. Mm-hmm. You think you didn't get the contract you was supposed to get when you was with the Eagles? You think you didn't get the time you supposed to get when you was with the Cowboys? We're going to restore that to you tenfold. Mm. But what you do? You still got feeling some type of way from something that happened years ago, and you still had the grace to do it that other people couldn't even have. I didn't even get to the league. Mm-hmm. I didn't even get drafted. They didn't even draft me. I'm like, bro, I could have been in the league and not on the damn right. No, I couldn't, man. Get in the league. This is the #1 show in the land. So, I'm just saying, man, and when you think about the young lady's case, this lady was drinking a drink in her own home, broke her neck. Think about what kind of medical bills she's getting ready to have. Think about her quality of life. Think about she can't work. Mm-hmm. She young, 57. She young. She might live another 25 years. Mm-hmm. Now she got to be in a wheelchair, sipping pump. And sipping pump is just where you could just blow. You have a little straw, and that's how you move your wheelchair around. If you need to, somebody got to bathe her for the rest of her life, clothe her for the rest of her life. That's going to take money. Mm-hmm. That's going to take money. She's going to have had things in place. Disability insurance. What if she don't have disability insurance? Who's going to take care of her? That's why I'm saying, that's why we had a conversation that we have on the Daily Bread radio show, because part of it is we want to pray every day for grace. Like, God, just cover us. Give us grace that will give us the wisdom of Solomon to do the things that we need to do while we have the ability to do it. While we run around, I want to watch the game. You don't even need to watch no game no more. LeBron, he the best. Hey.
It's over. It's over. It's a wrap.
Man, he the best is doing it, but, while you still watching that, you could be working on your plan, working on your budget, working on your personal finance. That man good. LeBron he can lose 6 more finals. He gonna make probably about he gonna make $1 billion. He gonna be like Tiger Woods. He gonna make $1 billion before he's old. But we need to be thinking about us. We need to be working on our game plan. So I would strongly encourage you, as you're watching the game and going through these different things, just, keep those things in mind. Justice, mercy, grace, and just how fortunate we are to have the things that we do have and the ability that we have to do the things that we can do while we still have time to do it, because we still young and we still doing it.
I got that queued up if you want it.
Let me see if you got this teed up. Woo! Oh, Jakes.
It's 3 minutes. You want it?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Run it. We're gonna play an excerpt from T.D. Jakes that's right on time for what we're talking about. My producer just pulled it up, so make sure the volume is up so they can hear it.
Why seek ye the living amongst the dead? It says, why do you keep going back to the place of your pain while you shout about power? Hey. Why do you keep rehearsing in your mind the thing that takes your strength while you plan your future? You can't plan your future if you're going to hang around the tomb. Why seek ye the living amongst the dead? Until you make up your mind, you know what I'm going to do? Forget those things which are behind me and reach to those things which are before me. I press toward the mark of the prize of the high. Why are you pressing, Jace? I'm pressing because God, Moving on.
Oh,
I need your help. Touch 10 people and tell them something's about to happen. Something's about to happen. Something's about to happen.
We ain't got 10, we
Something's
just
about to
10
happen.
times.
touch somebody.
Something's about to happen in your life.
Something about to happen, boy. Something about to happen, boy. We about to go up, boy. We about to go up, boy. Hey, we about to go up. I told you, boy. I told you.
On your business.
Yes.
Something's about to happen in your job.
Yes.
Something's about to happen in your career.
Yes.
Something's about to happen in your spirit.
Yes.
Something's about to happen in your belly.
Yes.
Something's about to happen in your soul.
Yes.
Something's about to happen.
Yes.
Something's about to happen.
Boy. Boy. We ain't playing on this thing. This ain't no game. Man.
But it cannot happen if you keep going back to the tomb. Because what God is about to do in your life
Woo.
will not be done in a dead place.
Woo.
Surrounded by dead thinking people with dead ideas and dead
Yeah.
creativity.
Yes.
God sent me here to tell you,
Yes.
He's going to do a new thing in
Yes.
you. And the former things are passed away. And you keep trying to fix that which was. But God said, stop trying to fix it. He has moved.
Man. Man. Boy. That's what I'm saying. Drop the mic on the
I think I just earned another week.
Boy, I'm going to keep you, man. When the Super Bowl come and leave. I said when the Super Bowl came and when it left, you was going with it. I'm a hey, boy. I don't even care. Why we gonna keep you, boy? Boy, you just earned another week, boy. You just earned another week. You just earned another week, man. Regardless of what I say, you still gonna be here, boy. Man, did you hear what he said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. Why we all, man, we still talking about what happened yesterday and last week. And, man, think about the stuff that could have happened.
Come on. Come on.
Think about the stuff that could have happened. Man, I done had people close to me over the last 2 weeks been hospitalized for multiple days. Think of what could have happened. Yeah, they're getting discharged, but guess what? They could still be there. It could be worse. Man, come on, bro. I need y'all, man. Somebody need to call in here. 678-381-1973. 678. You can call in and hang up. I don't care. Just make the phone ring. Just say 678-381-1973, man. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind, what you're thinking, what you think, what we're talking about. Are we on point? We need to go into another set. Whatever. Just call in. Let us know what you think, what you hear, what you feel. Give us a thumbs up because, like I said, this ain't entertainment, man. The other thing that Steve Harvey said was this. He said, you don't need to be working on being successful. You could be successful. Successful is graduating from college. That's success, right? Raising a family, that's success. But you want to be working on being great.
Wow.
You want to be working on being great, right? So that way, it was being great. How do you become great? You become great by helping other people become great and get to what they want. It ain't about you. It ain't about what you gonna get yours. That's what we doing on the day. Man, we working on greatness. We sitting up here playing. Man, we got our t-shirts. We ain't even sold no t-shirts, but I wear these every day. You ain't gonna see me wearing somebody else's stuff. This is my stuff. I'm gonna wear my own stuff. I'm gonna wear Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger. This ain't daily bread, man. This what's in my mind. This was in my dream. This brother, man, close to me, childhood friend, come up with a goddamn song, and we play the song every week. Where that song come from? Where was that song at before we even came on the air? It was already done. It was already done. So think about what's going to happen next year and the year after that. Come on, man. Wear your own clothes. Don't be wearing nobody else's stuff. Be proud of what you do. People ask you, man, you got a radio show? Yeah. And when they ask you, what station? When they ask you what station you on, AM or FM, you tell them internet radio, and when they say there ain't no radio station, that's a podcast, you can say I got the number one show in the nation. I got the number one show in the nation. I got the number one show in the nation. It's just another millions and millions of people that they ain't heard it yet. That's all it is. Think about it. Before Michael Jackson got discovered, he was still Michael Jackson. He still had that gift. Before Prince became who he was, he already had that gift. He just got exposed to more people. And the more people he got exposed to, they say, man, that dude can really goddamn play that guitar. That's what happens in life. They already had the talent. They was already gifted. So what we doing over here, man, we not phased at all. We not phased at all. Because we already know it's ordained. And we ain't worried about what happened before. Yeah, I'd have had a bankruptcy. So what? Guess what? I'm about to come up off of that money. Hey, I'm about to come up off of it and can do whatever I want to do, however I want to do it. It's up to me. And God, I ain't worried about no bankruptcy. I ain't worried about no repo. Goddamn, the people came and took my car. Shoot, my kids were little. They thought somebody stole the car. And I was coming from church. Okay? So don't think like, oh, because you go to church. No, and I was coming from goddamn church. They done repoed my car coming from church. No, that ain't goddamn right.
Hey, Pastor.
Man, that's what I'm saying. He just said if I put some money in the plate, then everything's going to be all right. I get on my car gone, man. But I mean, hey.
This ain't right.
I learned from it. But just like we always talked about, even with God will discipline you. And it's in the Bible. He said, don't complain about being chastised.
Pastor, give my money back.
I sure want to go get my money back out that plate because I put $20 in that week. I put $20. And that was when I wasn't used to putting $20. I put $20 in there. Came home, my car gone, man. So, nah, man, that's what's been on my heart this week, man. And I'm just saying, that's what it is, man. That's how we got, that's all I want to do. I just want to start a movement of people that's just thinking like that. Like, man, I ain't worried about what happened before. That's dead. Like T.D. Jakes just said, man, you trying to create something among dead people. That's dead. That's like eating something that's just dead. You ain't cooked it. It ain't fresh. It ain't new. That's dead, man. Leave that there. And start working on what's in front of you. You can create anything. And that, I mean, just to show you how God works. And that just takes us right into the next topic that I want to talk about, which was this. And y'all can call in with your, you got feedback, or you can put it in, you can text it, Facebook Live. Let me ask you all a question. Now, thinking about all the stuff that we just talked about, I'm going to ask you all a question. Think about this now. Do you think is any truth to this statement? Excuse me. Let me get my mouse. Man. I had a cold. But is any truth to this statement? And this topic tonight, I mean, this show tonight's been perfect. Listen to this next one. Is it any truth to this statement? Good guys, and when I say good guys, I'm talking about young ladies too. Good guys, what's the ending to that?
Finish last.
Good guys finish last. Let me write that down. Good guys, is it any truth to that? If you think it's some truth to that, give me a thumbs up, or y'all wave, or put a heart out there, something. Is there any truth to that statement? Good guys or good ladies. Good people. Let's just change it, right? Good people finish last. Good people finish last. Is there any validity to that statement? And I just want you to marinate on that for a little while. Good guys, good people. And thinking about the stuff that we've been talking about tonight. Good guys finish last. Okay. I'll give you my perspective on it. I believe it is some truth to it. And the reason I believe it's true to it, if you think about the way that we go about doing things, we want to start a business, we want a certain job, we want to make more money, we want additional income, and we play the game by the rules that's been set up by people that don't play the game. Listen to what I'm saying to you. We play the game because we want to what? We want to follow the rule. We're a rule follower, right? We like to follow the rules. They say don't do this. They don't say why don't do it. They just say don't do it. And we, all right, I ain't gonna do that. All right, I ain't gonna do that. And then we wait for somebody else to give us permission to be successful. Do you think I can do this? Do you think it's time? Do you think I got everything? Right? When people who are not quote unquote, what we call quote unquote good people do what? I done seen people do crimes, and I ain't talking about, now let me stop first. I'm not condoning crimes that offend another person. I'm talking about rape, murder, assault. I'm not talking about that kind of crime. I'm talking about the type of crime where somebody says, you know what, you ain't paying enough taxes. You know what, you understated your statement. When you got people out there that's like, you know what, or you sold some drugs, right? People know people that sold drugs, what have you. But everybody who sold drugs are not killers and rapists and murderers and that. Some people just selling drugs to, try to make things happen. I was trying to read something.
Don't read nothing.
And
Stay
check
focused. Stay focused.
Yeah, I'm focused. So with that, I'm talking about people who say, you know what, I know it's against the law to sell drugs, but I'm gonna sell drugs to get to where I'm going. And I'm willing to take the risk of being incarcerated, do the time, and then get out. Do you realize there's people that do that scenario, and we got other people that's following all of the rules, going to work day in and day out, and the people they taking risk. They taking risk, right? Don't wait. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you permission to be successful. You don't have to wait for somebody to speak into you in order for you to go get what's due to you, what's owed to you, what's your duty, right? What's your God-given, reward. You ain't got to wait for them. But you do have to get out there and take some risks. And I ain't saying go to jail, because I'm not. Trust me, I'm the last one. I'm 51 and a half. This is not the time to be talking about no 225, 77. Because I promise you, I know ain't gonna but a few people gonna come see me. And I ain't gonna be able to do no Daily Bread radio show. That ain't gonna be cute, So I ain't trying to go to jail. But what I do, and this is what I was sharing with one of my friends earlier this week, but what I do try to make sure I do is participate in a game to the max, meaning I want to know the rules and I want to be able to exploit the rules, because that's what our counterparts are doing. I want to know the law. If the law says you can have up to, 3 businesses and 3 different, boards, I want to do that. Matter of fact, I want to be a part of that. So I want to be a part of your 3. I want you to be a part of my 3. Or they may say you can have an unlimited number of businesses. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, I'm working on that too then, right? But I'm working within the rules, but I'm trying to make sure that I exploit the rules too. And if you have a business, you have business expenses. And those business expenses can be deducted at the end of the year. That's why I said you got to play that tax game all year. You're not going to play it, at the end of the year. You're going to pay and play and do it all year, right? You're going to do that all year. So take some time to think through, how can you take some more calculated risks? You ain't got to wait on nobody. You ain't got, if you got a 9 to 5, good. I love it. Because guess what? You could take that money from your 9 to 5 and pour into your gift, whatever your gift is. It might be whatever. But that's going to give you freedom. That's what Harriet Tubman did. I was thinking about Harriet Tubman last week. Harriet Tubman, didn't nobody give Harriet Tubman no map and say this is how you could free yourself. Because the first step was what? She had to free herself and have the kind of mindset to say, you know what? I don't even know what freedom is, but I want it. I know it's better than this. It got to be better than this. And it's the same thing with us. Sometimes we want to go places and do things and, you know, go to another level and go to them. And we like, I don't want to leave my family. I don't want to leave my friends. They're going to give you permission. Think about Harriet Tubman. She didn't want to leave them people either. But once you able to leave, you can leave and come back and get them. You can leave and tell them, like, hey, I done went out there, just like Joshua did in the Bible. I went out there, I saw it. I saw fruit bigger than gigantic fruit, gigantic plums. You trust me. But somebody got to go out. Somebody got to be the scout. Somebody got to go out to find out what's out there in order to come back and help everybody else. So, I mean, that should be, all of us should be trying to be in that space. All of us should be working this. All of us should be disseminating this information out, talking about personal finance, right? So, and that's what the Daily Bread Radio Show is about. Like every week, I'm gonna come and we're gonna talk about something related to personal finance. If you have a question, if you have a concern, if you want to call in, because what's gonna start to happen is the audience is already starting to grow. We're already working on some promotional material that's gonna, you know, be out on social media and videos and testimonials, websites. All that stuff is being done, you know, behind the scenes, infrastructure. So we not that. It ain't no worry about that. But it goes all the way back to how long can you endure like a good soldier? How long can you endure? So everything that we doing every week, we just practice. This is practice. Like our practice.
Practice.
Practice. Are we talking about practice?
No, practice.
Practice?
Hey,
Are we talking about practice?
You don't need practice.
Practice? Oh, we don't need no practice.
Come on, practice.
But that's what we doing, man. We practice, man. We definitely practice it, and you know, trying to make sure that we help others so that way they can practice as well, and we can just, you know, we be a conduit, man. Just think about all the people that we can help, all the legacies, and you know, something else that Steve Harvey said that kind of resonated with me was like, you know, do you know the name of your great grandfather? Do you know your great grandfather's name? Right? And he said, most people don't know their great-grandfather. Why don't you know your great-grandfather's name? Why?
They missed a part of the history. Don't know the history.
You know why you don't know your great-grandfather's name? Because he ain't leave you nothing.
Wow.
He ain't leave you nothing. He ain't do nothing for you, right? He was part of your legacy, but, I mean, he wasn't thinking about his grandkids and great-grandkids. He was like, shoot, he was out doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Working on him, being him. I'm doing me. I'm going to do me. You know what I'm saying? But think about this. Listen, I'm going to give you something that's deep on that level, just for you to marinate on. I don't know my great-grandfather, right? But why would I know Joe Kennedy? Why would I know Joe Kennedy? Why would I know Joe Kennedy? And not know my great-grandfather? Why would I know Joe Kennedy?
It's crazy.
Huh? Why would I know John? Listen to this. Why would I know John D. Rockefeller? Why would I know him? Why would I know him and don't know my grandfather or great-grandfather that was living at the time that John D. Rockefeller was living?
Come on.
Why would I know? Why don't I know my grandfather's name? Why don't I know Johnny D. Thompson?
Come on.
Or Henry Thompson? Why don't I know him?
Or Hubert Thompson.
Or Hubert, whatever his name was.
Hubert.
And that's close to my dad. My dad's Herbert.
See?
So my great-grandfather could have been Hubert.
Hubert, yeah.
But why I don't know that?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Why don't I know that? Why do I know John D. Rockefeller? Why I know Henry Ford? Why? Why? Why do you know him? Because we have to start creating a legacy for the people that's coming behind us, so that way when they look and say, that's a good friend of mine, Michael Williams. So when they say, what's your great-granddaddy name? Michael. He can say it right off. Michael. Dang, how you know that? Because he left something for me, and I know he did. He built something for his kids and his kids' 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 kids. That's why they know his name. That's why. That's why. And that's what we got to get in the habit of doing. Leaving something. This ain't about no money. This is about family. This is about legacy, man. This is about legacy. This ain't about no cars and shoes and Gucci and jewels. That ain't nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. But it'll be something 3 generations from now. Somebody say, do you know who your great-grandfather was? And they can, boop. They won't be still talking about no Joe Kennedy and John D. Rockefeller. They'll be saying, yeah, Joaquin Thompson, Sr. His son, Joaquin Thompson, Jr. His son was goddamn such and such. And his son was such and such. That's how we got to get to that point. That's real wealth. That's when you have wealth. That ain't about no money. It's about knowing who you are, whose you are, and your kids knowing who you are. And 3 generations, that's 60 years. The average generation is 20 years to 25 years. 75 years, that's it. So you telling me in anywhere between 40 and 75 years, they won't know who you are? And you spent 50 plus years on this planet? God. Well, they need to be saying, what was you doing? What was you doing? What was you doing all that time? Oh man, you know, you was buying cars and jewels and houses and clothes. You was here that long and you ain't, God, what was you doing?
What's really going on?
Bruh, it's time to wake up, man. It's time to wake up. But that's just, that's who we are, whose we are, man. I want to thank everybody that joined the show tonight. I think Diane Manley, did you read her testimony?
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
Okay, so
She to pray for her.
Say that again?
She wants you to pray for her.
Yeah, okay. So let me take my hat off, because you can't pray with your hat on, man. Let me take my hat off. We got that, and that's what we're here for. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to had a young lady, Diane Manley, and I'm going to go ahead and read it, because she took the time to type it in, so she felt like it was important enough for us to know about. And that's the whole thing. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. Young lady name is Diane Manley. Says, please pray for my husband. He got pancreas cancer, and I need to go to chemo, and he needs to go to chemo treatment or 2 weeks. The doctor says it's not sure if the treatments are helping him. I'm very worried I'm going to lose. Just asking for healing for his pancreas cancer, and I have a very, very stressed son. My son is getting married in 2 weeks, and I feel like I'm not part of it, and I don't know how much I got. Please pray for healing, and thank you. So I would say with that, it's just, and this, when we talked about this last week, when somebody's going through something like Diane is going through, and we say, I'm going to pray for you, right? But then when we go home, it's like, you can't pray for, 80 people, 90 people? So what we said we would do, this is what my producer said. He said, no, this is the way you fix that. He said, let me pray for you now. So that's what we're going to do. So, Heavenly Father, I ask that you look over the Manley family. We ask that you put your praying and your healing hands on her husband's pancreas. Heal his body. Do only as you can do. This is not about man. This is not about wishing. This is not about hoping. This is about the Manley family reaching out to you to say they need help. They need you now, God. Yes. They need you to come into their lives and to heal their husband, their father, their brother. Heal him regardless of what the doctor says, regardless of what the test is showing. Show them what God is. Show them what you're about, and give her peace. She has a lot of other things going on. She has a son that's getting married. She got a wedding that's coming up. She has a husband that's going through his chemo treatment. She really doesn't know. Give her peace. Give her peace in her spirit. Give her peace. Give her comfort, and give her discernment. Give her the ability to see things as they are. And ultimately, God, the thing that we always want her to know and understand is, just like what you said in the Lord's Prayer, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's nothing that we can do to change that. So whatever the will is for the Manlett family, give them the comfort, the discernment, the strength, and the wisdom, and the courage to do your will and to see your will be done. For these things we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So, and if you all want to say a prayer for her tonight, Diane Manley, and then for the people that you know that going through health challenges. I had two very close friends going through health challenges, and I've been praying for them. And the way that I pray a lot of times is through laughter, because I feel like, a lot of times we so stressed out and things are going, not going our way, that we tend to get into a dark place. Right? Young lady yesterday, Kate Spade, took her life. She was stressed out. And the thing about it is sometimes we look at people and say, man, they got everything. Living on Fifth Avenue. She got her own clothing line, got her own handbag, multi-millionaire, cars, houses, jewels, got everything. But she don't have the thing that she needs, which is peace. Peace beyond measure. This lady took her life yesterday, and there's a lot of people took, she's just a celebrity. So we heard about her, but it's a lot of voiceless, nameless, faceless people. They took their lives yesterday as well, because they didn't have that peace. Money ain't gonna give you peace. Cars ain't gonna give you peace. Jewels ain't gonna give you peace. Sex ain't gonna give you peace. Popularity ain't gonna give you peace. And all of that is in the Word. Vanity, vanity, vanity. It is all vanity. That's all it is. What you want to be is be able to get into a position where you have peace. And that's what we do. Part of my objective of doing this show, part of my calling, is to make sure that I give you some tools that can help you get financial peace. Get to a point where you're not running to the window when you hear something backing up, the snatch man not coming, somebody ain't coming to you, you're not getting them crazy letters, you're not letting mail pile up because you don't want to open it. Peace. Peace where you can have a type of attitude like, I know you ain't calling me because I don't owe nobody nothing. I'm good. And if you have to go through something to get to the other side, go through it. So what? You got a bankruptcy, repo, tax lien, tax frozen, this, that, and other. It's going to be another side to it. But you got to go through it. You can't avoid it. You got to go through it. It's just like when we were showing this. It's like, you want to play football, but you got to get in there. We had this thing called bull in the ring. A lot of people say they can play football. You get that. And them coaches, man, some of them coaches ain't know what they were doing. They didn't care what your position was, man. They didn't care if you played quarterback, running back, defensive back. You ain't playing on defense. It don't matter. Get in that ring, man. Get in there. Get in there. That's when all the excuses go away. I'm a wide receiver. I don't care what you do. If you got a helmet and them pads on, get in that goddamn, get in that bull in the ring, man.
Get in the game.
And we gonna see what's what. All that talking you doing. It's the same thing in life, man. Just go through it. It ain't gonna always be hard. It ain't gonna be always hard. And a lot of times we go through that because God ain't trying to do nothing but build muscle. He's trying to build some faith muscle in us, so that way when something when it does come up, we don't just go to pieces. They took my car.
And not your jaw muscles. Stop talking and do something.
Listen to him, man. That's what see.
Not your jaw muscles. You doing all that talking, but you ain't doing nothing. God will provide for even
Listen
the
to
birds
this,
in the
man.
tree.
I'm not-
Tell
hey,
them
man.
this. I mean, say God will provide for the birds in the tree.
They can hear you, man.
They can hear me? No, they can't.
What? Yes, they can.
Tell God will provide for the birds in the tree, but He will not drop it in the nest. They got to get out the nest and go do something.
God
Will provide for the birds in the tree.
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 But He's not going to drop it
But
in the
he's
nest.
not going to drop it in the nest.
You got to get out there.
You got to get out the nest and go
and
get
go
it.
do something. Yeah.
What book is that in?
Raheem.
Negro?
Yes.
The Book of Negro? The
Volume
Book of Negro?
Volume 2.
The Book of Negro 2?
Volume 2. There's a volume 2. There's a volume 2.
Man, I'm not messing with you, man. Listen. But, hey, man, I love y'all. the show was excellent. That's all I can say, man.
Can I ask you a question?
What's happening?
And this is totally off topic.
All right,
Totally
what's
off
up?
topic. Who was the greatest? Who had the most hits? Michael Jackson or Prince?
The most hits.
If you put it, if you get them on a
Man,
scroll.
why are we talking about Michael Jackson and Prince?
Because go ahead. Who had the most hits? I told you it's totally off topic. Go
Hold
ahead.
on. Okay.
Yeah.
Who had the most hits? I would say MJ.
Yeah, that's what you wouldn't be right.
I would say MJ. Hits.
Yeah.
Hits.
Yeah.
Hits.
Yeah.
I don't think Prince had more than Michael
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
No, he did.
Yes, it did.
No, he
I'm gonna
didn't.
tell you
Michael
how.
Jackson was in Jackson 5 too.
Let me tell you how.
How?
Michael Jackson have his hits. Prince have his hits. And other columns of hits that he made for other people. So all of those are his hits. He wrote them and produced. He's still getting paid for them. So what I'm telling you is this: multiple streams of income.
No, you what? I throw this book at you, man. No, you talking about no multiple streams income when you talking about focus. All right, man.
Did I get you there?
Man, I'm not listen, man. I'm about to put my hat on. Look, man. That mean it's time to go. I'm about to put my hat on. We about to get out of here, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This has probably been one of the best shows. This is episode 55. Make sure that you praying for the Manlet family. Pray for your friends and family. And just live a peaceful life. Get to a point where you can have peace. You can enjoy your life. And you can do the things that, God has given us to do. Just enjoy. Just enjoy life. This life is brief. It's brevity in this life. So don't spend all your time out there and weeping and complaining and this, that, and other. Like I said, man, be thankful for grace. Mm-hmm. Be thankful for grace, because some of that stuff that you received, you didn't deserve it. Right? That's grace. Mm-hmm. That's grace. Don't focus on justice. Getting what you were supposed to get. Mercy, not getting what you were supposed to get. But grace. Getting what you didn't deserve. Grace. Getting you out of that class that you know you were supposed to fail that class. You know God darn well you supposed to. You know you ain't had no credit
You
score
ain't
for
did no
that.
homework.
But that was grace. That was grace. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody on, from Rod Jackson, Rod, I see you. That's the homies. Pat Farmer Woods, man, she MVP. She on every week. I see my wife Tanya, love of my life, my little rock. TT, I seen her on. I see my kids, Joaquin, Nia, Ashley. I seen multiple other friends. I seen my nephew Andre. I seen Teresa.
Pat Farmer Wood said, I need to know how to get a shirt.
Oh, you need to know how to get a shirt? Oh, I can get you. Just tell me the size, Pat. It's on me. Tell me the size. You're MVP. So tell me the size. I got some. We got them in extra large, medium, smalls. I mean, whatever the size is. But just reach out to me, because I could probably get it to you sooner than later. And I'll reach out to you as well. But everybody that tuned in tonight, I want to thank you all, because you could have been anywhere, but like the saying says, but you was here with us. So I appreciate that. And y'all be blessed. Think about what we talked about tonight. Pray for that brother T.O., that he comes to his right mind, and that he would bless all of the people in his family and give them. I might even write a letter to that brother.
Write them down.
I might have to write it. Man, I'm gonna tell him to call into the show.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out.
I'll be
Find
sure.
out his address, man.
I'll
You the
reach out to
producer.
him.
Find out his address, man. It might be easier to call him. People accessible now, man. Reach out to that brother, man. See if I can get him on the show. So I'll write a letter. I can write. So
Yeah.
I'll write him a letter too. You know what I'm saying? We find out where he at. Then, make sure you keep those three things in mind: justice, mercy, grace. Make sure that you continue to play your tax game all year. And don't be a good guy and a good girl. Take some risks. Take some risks. Put some things out. Don't go to jail now. I ain't say go to jail, but take some risks and see what you come up with. Because sometimes you're going to lose, right? Just like anything else. You could be the baddest man in the land, like LeBron. Baddest man on the planet, and still losing. Think about how tough that is. You the baddest person on the planet Earth. Ain't nobody can do it better than you, and you still losing. You still losing. So that's just something to think about. It's a lesson in everything. It's a lesson in everything. So y'all have a beautiful evening. I'll see y'all here next week, same time, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. DKM Radio, Facebook Live. the Daily Bread Radio Show, episode 55, and we going next week will be 56. So y'all have a beautiful week and stay blessed. Man.
But now I see how you were there.
No, but what the heck?
I can say